Well, here we are, still anchored in this rather nice little spot. Uonuku Hihifo Island there. And just up the way is Uonuku Hahake, Hahake, I think it is. Lovely names. Very little wind. I'm seeing 6 knots from the east. And it's just amazing how things come together and how lucky I am actually to have so many people who often are keeping an eye on what I'm getting up to and that everything's okay. I've just spent quite a time on WhatsApp on the phone because I've got Starlink for my connection, talking to Victor near Nanaimo in British Columbia, who knows me from up there. In fact, he reminded me that we'd met a couple of times. And he had sent me a message saying, I'm coming to Vava'u. He said, this was a week ago or so. He said, I'm coming to Vava'u in 2 weeks' time. Is there anything I can bring for you? Is there anything you need? And at the time, I thought, no, I'm fine. I don't need anything, but thanks so much for the offer. I'm going to be in the Hapai and go directly to Fiji from the Hapai, which is where I am now, in the Hapai. Anyway, of course, now I've got these 2 major problems. I've got the leaking fuel due to the cracked gasket that was replaced while I was on Minerva Reef, fortunately, by another boater there who was a mechanic, very kind, and Carlin on his boat. Can't remember the name of the boat now. Cowrie, on Cowrie, and then, of course, I've got this major fuel seawater ingress. I've just had to pump a lot of water again out from beneath the prop shaft at the rear of the engine area and from under the engine compartment, under the engine itself. A lot of water. And I was suddenly... And then the third thing to think about that I've been spending a lot of time checking on is this nasty storm system that's due to come through the area, tracking southeast from Vanuatu and Fiji direction from that way, and hitting this area quite badly. I mean, some of the forecasts a day or so back were talking about 40 or 50 knot winds, pretty bad. And I was thinking, well, that forecast seemed to have gone down to the one that was coming up with the worst winds was now saying around 30 knots, which is still quite bad because 30 knots, obviously you're going to get gusts a lot more than that. And I've been thinking I would maybe stop here in the Hapai. I looked at the anchorages and found that there was one anchorage, Ovalu, I forget the name of it. Anyway, and then I was talking to someone in Fiji about my prop shaft seal problem, which is a major problem, and one guy there mentioned to me that Don McIntyre, who I know has a place here in Hapai and knows the area really well, and why not get hold of him and ask his advice on where would be the best place to go in such a storm situation. So I did just that, and Don very kindly replied to me from Tahiti at midnight last night and basically said, really, the Hapai is not a place to be. If you've got the wind swinging around from northeast to northwest, around to southwest, and quite strong, then the Hapai really doesn't have anywhere suitable, and the best place to go is Vava'u. Well, I mean, at that point, everything's coming together. I'm thinking, well, I know that in Vava'u there's a boatyard I can get hauled and get my prop shaft seal seen to if I can just get Victor to bring one in with him from Canada when he comes next week. Oh, my goodness me. So I've just been on WhatsApp, on the phone, basically, to Canada, to Victor, near Nanaimo, and given him the details. He's now looking to see if he can get hold of the Volvo Penta prop shaft seal that I can replace this misbehaving one. Oh, we've got an annoying fly around here. See if he can get that, because for him it's Monday afternoon. Here it's Tuesday morning, but there it's Monday afternoon. So he's got all this week basically to try and get hold of the prop shaft seal. and I think that's going to be the more difficult item to get hold of. Whereas hopefully the Yanmar item, the gasket, or maybe the entire top housing if we have to, he can source that more easily, because the Yanmar engine that I have on the boat here is such a common one. So he's looking for that now. Brilliant, absolutely fantastic. And that will mean that he'll be coming in. He leaves, he catches his flight, he was saying, from Vancouver on Sunday night. Of course, he effectively loses a day. He lands here on Tuesday. He loses Monday. And so hopefully, if he can find those things and get them in for me, he can source not just the shaft seal, but also the gasket. And also a marlin spike. My favourite old marlin spike, dating from 1994, when I first started sailing. I dropped it in the ocean not long ago, about a week or so back, when in fact it was just before I left New Zealand, and forgot to replace it. So he's going to see whether he can get me another marlin spike. That's very kind. Anyway, so it's all coming together. I've left it with Victor now up in Nanaimo, just outside Nanaimo, and he's seeing what he can do for me. And in the meantime, I am about to raise the main. Not that there's much wind at the moment, but I hope it will come up a little bit later, and get the engine going and get the anchor up, and we'll make way for Vava'u. So change of plan completely. I wasn't going to go to Vava'u at all. I was going to stay in the Hapai, explore here, and then get to Fiji. But this storm system is rather changing the plans anyway. So all coming together with the boatyard, in Neiafu that I can make use of while I'm there. I can get this prop shaft seal sorted out, hopefully. But I'm still very, very annoyed that the entire thing should not be leaking. It should be totally reliable, but obviously was badly installed and has to be got rid of and changed for something better. Okay, so that's the plan at the moment. Let's just show a look around where we are. So here we have the view from here and out to sea. And you can probably see the reef breaking over there. I'm going to go up this way and get underway to Vava'u. Here we come.